Alright, man, we got horrors on the Arabic internet. This is from a different channel. We got this from, Farrell McGuire. So, yeah, man, we'll see this out. I just watched, like, the first 10 seconds of it. Thought it looked pretty interesting, so we're gonna be checking this out, man.
In the mid-2010s, the internet was busy developing its own unique genres of horror
Slenderman,
content.
God. This game's freaking terrifying me, bro. Look at me pausing 7 seconds into the video.
For this era, the majority of spooky stuff you would find online would more or less be the same sort of content you could find offline, like scary commercials or clips from horror movies. But over the 2010s, creepypastas, internet mysteries, and ARGs would become essential parts of internet culture, creating a whole new subsection of horror media that only exists on the internet. Here in the West, we typically focus on the same few flavors of internet horror. Reddit mysteries, online rabbit holes, analog horror, you probably all know pretty well by now. But during this formative period in the mid-2010s, other parts of the world were also busy developing their own unique takes on internet horror. Like, for example, the Russian Death Files, which is a genre we've talked about often on this channel. Our first topic for today is one such unique non-Western niche of internet horror. On February 18th, 2017, new YouTuber Abdullah Al-Ambari would make his first upload. The video is a fairly standard urban exploration of the Khaybar fort in Saudi Arabia. Abdullah takes us around, tells us a bit of backstory to the fort, and that's it. Nothing out of the ordinary happens. At least not until his second video, which was put up only 5 days later. This clip is another urban exploration, this time of an abandoned hospital in the city of Mecca. The first thing you'll notice is some issues Abdullah is seemingly having with this camera, which appears to be glitching every so often.
Not the voices? Okay. Damn, bro, it sounded like he just got blasted by a freaking machine gun. Guys are over here hauling machine guns, bro.
The second thing you'll notice is the overall different feeling of this video. While his first upload was bright, open, and
Are we just gonna ignore the voices and the singing or whatever that was going on? I mean, okay.
Displaying an interesting piece of history, this one is dark, claustrophobic, and showing us a decrepit building. We can only really see whatever Abdullah's pointing
freaking lights off, man. What am I doing?
His flashlight at, and there's an eeriness that seems to pervade this entire video. Occasionally, we come across a dirty mattress on the ground, and as our cameraman gets deeper and deeper into the hospital, we can hear the increasingly loud sounds of a call to prayer that's been unrecognizably warped by the echoing empty stone hallways. Eventually, Abdullah makes it onto the roof of the building, which is when the tension plaguing the rest of the video seems to dissipate. We're no longer peeking around dark corners, the call to prayer sounds much more normal up here, and this is also where the video ends.
Wait, a call to prayer? What is that, bro? Is that like the voice, Luke? Is that like the voice sounding thingy, whatever I'm hearing?
While this clip is undeniably tense and creepy, it's a little hard to call it horror. But Abdullah wasn't done there. His next video would make it clear just which direction he was planning to take his channel in. The title of his next upload tells us that during this next Urbex adventure, he encountered a jinn.
A
Alright,
jinn?
we're gonna take a second here to go over what jinns are.
Like
In Western
dangerous,
culture,
aren't they?
We typically separate spirits into two categories: ghosts and demons. Demons are always
Yep. I knew it was dangerous, bro.
bad, and ghosts are usually bad, but sometimes they can be good. Demons are inhuman supernatural creatures, whereas ghosts are implied to be the spirit of a person who's died. While there are demons in Arabic culture, most supernatural beings fall into the category of jinns, or as you may know them, genies. A jinn is not really a ghost, but is also more similar to a human than a ghost is. A ghost is kind of implied to be between the realms of the living and the realms of the dead, but jinns very much live on this mortal plane of existence. Just like humans, they have free will and can even live as practicing Muslims, which will help them when they die because in Islam, jinns are subject to the same divine judgment from God that humans are. Jinns are usually invisible, but can shapeshift and appear as whatever creature or being they choose to.
It's like a
They typically live in
skinwalker.
dark, desolate, and abandoned places deep in the desert. Their intentions towards people are more or less neutral. You can think of jinns as like a race of humanoid cryptids that live alongside humans, sometimes helping us, sometimes hurting us. Abdullah's third video starts with him walking in the desert alone at night,
Bro, what?
only carrying a flashlight and his camera.
Bro, what?
He's walking up to another abandoned fortress. This one apparently has a reputation for being inhabited by jinn. Only 2 minutes into the video, just as he's approaching the entrance to the fortress, this happens.
حسن
I don't like this at all.
المنطقة الوسطى. أحاول أسجل قدر الإمكان بأسرع وقت المقاطع لكن ما ألحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إيش هذا؟ شايفين؟
As indicated by
what?
the always useful red circle, Abdullah appears to have already come across a jinn before even setting foot into the supposedly haunted
But you said they're
fortress.
invisible, man.
He calls out
What?
to the creature, but receives no response. So, apparently not feeling any sort of fear or hesitation at this seemingly frightening situation, he begins to walk towards the entity. But when he gets to the entrance, it's no longer there. The rest of the video is much like the last, a tense urban exploration video of a dark and decrepit place. Putting the supposed jinn sighting at the beginning of this clip was probably just a tactic to drive viewership, but what Abdullah also succeeded in doing was planting the seeds for a homegrown and entirely Arabic form of internet horror: Arab ghost hunting. Ghost hunting in the West typically follows a very particular format that you're almost certainly familiar with. A team of quote-unquote paranormal experts enter a supposedly haunted place, set up a bunch of fancy equipment, and try to capture evidence of the supernatural. Not much usually happens in these investigations, and when things do happen, they're usually vague sounds or faint orbs captured on camera. These shows and videos always present themselves as scientific investigations of something that's inherently unscientific, and they often end up being a little boring and dry because of it. Arab ghost hunting, on the other hand, is a whole different beast. There's no fancy...
I don't know, bro. Western ghost hunting can be pretty scary, bro. You know, like... Some of the things that happen, you know, it's not always with the equipment. Some of the stuff that happens is without the equipment, bro, and that shit, you know. Goosebumps don't lie. The hair standing up on my arms and the back of my neck don't lie, bro. Like, that shit's pretty scary. I wouldn't do that shit. Like, it's easy to call it boring sitting from behind the screen, man, but like, another thing to be actually in there when this stuff is going down, bro.
Equipment. Just brave adventurers with
What
their
the
flashlights and cell phone
fudge?
cameras. This is the WWE version of ghost hunting, and it's infinitely more entertaining. While Abdullah's first couple of videos were fairly tame, he would up the ante significantly as he became more and more popular.
شوفوا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. شوف لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
What, bro, what? He's going towards it? Bro. Now look. If that was happening in Western ghost hunting, they ain't walking towards it. They're out the door. This dude was, I don't know what he was saying, bro. It wasn't English, obviously. I don't know what the fudge he was saying, but that man was going towards it. And that thing was, like over and over at that door, bro. Like, oh my god.
بسم الله. إيش؟
Oh, hell nah. What is this shit, bro? You're going in there? Alright, look, bro. What is this shit?
كيف لين هناك؟ هذه الممرات كلها كاملة.
Bro, that thing's just shimmying across. Bro goes towards. Kick that shit open, bro.
I think what makes these videos so unsettling isn't just the paranormal activity, a lot of the creepiness is driven by the setting. Remember when I said how jinns are thought to inhabit dark and abandoned places?
What kind of
deep in the
ghosts
desert?
y'all got there,
All these
man?
listening channels follow this idea, and these videos are mostly filmed in these really creepy, decrepit buildings. Even if there were no dark figures crossing into view or doors slamming or sounds of distant screaming echoing through the empty hallways, these videos would still be pretty creepy. There are two main channels that pioneered Arab ghost hunting. One of them is obviously Abdullah Al-Ambari. The other one, though, is Hassan Barbar. Hassan Barbar started his channel about a year and a half after Abdullah Al-Ambari. The content is very similar. Vertical cell phone videos showing abandoned Middle Eastern buildings illuminated by a flashlight with the occasional encounter with jinns.
What?
Where Hassan differs, though, is the directness of his paranormal encounters. In Abdullah Al-Ambari's videos, the horror tends to be pretty similar to something like a found footage movie. You never really see the jinns up close, you only ever catch vague glimpses of them moving in the distance. What you do see are the things the jinns are doing, like doors slamming, loud strange sounds, or objects breaking. I think keeping the thing terrorizing you as an unknown is a good way to make horror more effective, but Hassan Barbar has a very different way of doing things. In his videos, he almost always gets up close and personal with jinns. Usually this manifests as Hassan walking up to a hooded figure that has their back towards the camera, and then they have a conversation. The voices of these jinns generally tends to be pretty strange, and they all seem to speak with this weird cadence.
أنا جاي بدي تعملي لي سحر. بدفع. تقتل واحدة من الناس. أقتل واحدة منكم؟ طب أشوف وجهك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله. أنت مين؟
I don't know what's going on, bro. What in the... I thought he said these shits were invisible, man. What is this? I'm gonna have to go back at the end of this video and watch the freaking explanation of, like, what a djinn is. Cause, like... Hold on. Hey, I'm gonna have to, like, spell it out. Hey, Siri. What is a JINN? Supernatural spirits integrated in Islamic beliefs. Jinn, alternatively genies, are supernatural beings in pre-Islamic Arabian religion and Islam. Supernatural, bro. Like, what the fudge? Like, dude. I swear he said they were invisible.
أنت إيش؟
What? Dude, look at the eyes! Look at the eyes, bro! That shit's not dead! What? What am I looking at?
تميم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
They're sometimes here to help you or hurt you. That's what he said.
In the following video, Hassan is walking through the hills of Jordan alone at night. As always, only armed with a flashlight and a cell phone. He eventually spots a lone figure standing still in a ravine in the distance. He walks towards it and gets close enough to talk to it, but the jinn doesn't say anything.
How do you know
It
it's
just
a
stands there
djinn?
staring at Hassan. The jinn's face seems to be obscured by long, light hair, but from what we can see of his face, it appears to have darkish gray skin. At some points in the video, the jinn will open and close its mouth erratically as if it's talking in some frantic manner, but no sound appears to come out.
غريب.
For the eyes.
بشر أنت. إخوان إيش هذا؟ إيش هذا؟ إيش هذا؟
Bro, I got a feeling
feeling
these things could mess you up, bro.
to the jinn, but to no avail, and he eventually decides to leave, turning his
Good.
back every few seconds to make sure the jinn is still in the same spot.
Good idea.
إن والله. وين هذا؟
Hey, I ain't never gone to the Middle East, bro. Screw that shit.
إخوان والله كان هون.
Oh, what the f-
I don't know, man. The sheer absurdity of this is enough to make it creepy. Not much else really happens in the video. After that weird jump scare, Hassan mostly just backs away from the jinn until the video ends.
Bro.
In another face-to-face encounter with the jinn, Hassan is giving his intro to the camera when he gets interrupted by a voice calling out to him in the distance.
شو صندوق الوصف والكل يدعم يا إخوان.
يمكنك الدخول.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وينك؟
Hassan cuts his intro short and begins searching for whoever was trying to talk to him. He begins shining his flashlight through the halls of an obviously long abandoned building, and he eventually sees a dark figure standing at the end of one of them.
Oh yeah, right.
أيوه
لقد عرفته.
عرفتني؟
نعم.
مين أنا؟
Why am I looking?
أريد أن تفشي السر.
أفشي السر؟
The Jinn and Hassan begin following each other around this abandoned building, carrying on a conversation that appears to be mostly made up of the Jinn asking Hassan nonsense riddles. The Jinn in this case just appears to be a guy wearing tape on his face. It's so simple and stupid on the surface, but just like the last video, the sheer absurdity of this situation combined with the setting is enough to make this pretty creepy in a surreal way. Hassan Barber has a ton of videos, each with their own wacky twist on what a Jinn is.
إنها رائعة الملكة العزيزة.
I don't even know what to think, bro. I don't know what I'm watching.
فأتيت بها.
While the Jinns and Abdullah al-Ambari's
This is not what I expected out of this video, man. We're only halfway.
videos tend to follow a more Western form of ghosts and hauntings, Hassan appears to stick closer to the more traditional idea of jinns. Not really ill-intentioned ghosts, but rather another race of human-like creatures with supernatural powers that live alongside us. With a traditional
Hold on, let me replay that.
other race of human-like creatures with supernatural powers that live along
Human-like creatures with supernatural powers that live alongside us, so they're not invisible.
alongside us. With a traditional jinn being neutral towards us, an encounter with one of them is more likely to be just weird than bad or good. Maybe this doesn't always make for scarier videos, but I think it does make them quite a bit more interesting and unique.
No, they're pretty scary,
Ghost
bro.
hunting creators have garnered huge followings over the years. Hassan Barber, for example, has almost 900,000 subscribers on YouTube and close to 2 million followers on TikTok. With so much attention on these videos, it's no surprise that Arab ghost hunting has blossomed into its own niche, with countless smaller creators replicating the format, which has also brought about new trends in the genre. Like, for example, there's a sort of reckless fearlessness in a lot of Arab ghost hunting videos.
Clearly.
When some of these investigators hear jinns stirring somewhere in the depths of one of these abandoned buildings, it doesn't strike any kind of fear. Instead, they break out in a mad dash towards the source of the sound.
God damn, bro.
Like anything in life, Arab ghost hunting was not born in a vacuum. In fact, the format is almost a carbon copy of this supposedly real viral video from many years ago.
دور دور دور.
Real?
شايف غفلة غفلة غفلة.
What am I looking? Oh, okay.
The video begins with what seems to be a view out the front of a car on a desert road at night. As the clip goes on, a white figure slowly makes its way into the shot.
What in the hell, bro?
The person appears hunched over and walks with a very strange gait.
Yeah.
They use a cane to keep themselves upright. As they make their way towards the car, the driver appears to get spooked and begins frantically reversing. And just like an animal whose predator instinct has been activated, the strange figure begins chasing the car, eliciting screams from those within it.
Bro, just fly past that shit. Bro, that thing is wobbling and sprinting. That thing is written, bro. Wobbly sprinting.
At some point, the hunched over entity turns away from the car, but the vehicle turns towards them, I guess to keep track of where they are using the headlights, and then this happens.
My
There's a pretty good
dude,
chance
what?
you've seen this clip before. When it comes to creepy and unexplained videos on YouTube, this one's been passed around a lot over the years. The most popular
I've not
upload
seen
currently
that.
has more than 3 million views.
A
Its
witch?
title reads, Saudi Arabia Police Encounter a Real Witch. While this version may have been put up on YouTube in October 2017, it most certainly isn't the earliest known upload. In fact, this video has a very strange history on the internet. When you start digging into the origins of this clip, you'll notice that it's very difficult to put together any sort of concrete story behind it, even with a detail as simple as the country it was filmed in. While the most popular upload says it was filmed in Saudi Arabia, several other versions say it was filmed in different cities in India. This upload says it was filmed in Bhutan. The British tabloid The Daily Star wrote an article in 2016 saying that the video was filmed in India, while the Huffington Post have wrote a different article a year earlier stating that the video was filmed
So
in
nobody
Lancashire in the UK.
nobody knows,
You
bro.
know, the famous deserts of Lancashire. None of this speculation ultimately matters though, because the voices in the video are speaking Arabic, and the clip does appear to be filmed in some sort of desert-like place, so I think we can assume that it was at least filmed in an Arabic country. But there is another piece of evidence to support that it could have been filmed specifically in Saudi Arabia. Despite the conservative nature of Islam, belief in the supernatural is actually somewhat common in Muslim culture. Witches and jinns are not fictional concepts to many Arab people in the Middle East, they're simply a fact of life. So much so that in 2009, the Saudi Arabian government formally organized an anti-witchcraft unit to deal with the threats posed by black magic to the public.
What the fuck?
This has more or less caused a modern-day witch hunt in the country, with 118 people arrested on charges of witchcraft in 2009 alone.
Damn.
In 2011, the unit had brought about almost 600 arrests related to witchcraft and black magic.
Almost
which mostly targeted foreign
600?
workers from Africa and other parts of Asia.
That's
Is
creepy.
it possible that this really is a clip of 2 Saudi police officers investigating a potential witch? Personally, I think this video is fake. Like I said earlier, it's almost a carbon copy of these Arab ghost hunting videos that will become popular only a couple years later. Both are vertical videos taken in the desert at night, approaching some strange ghostly figure. I think this witch video is merely the prototype for all the Arab ghost hunting videos that came after it. In terms of the origins of this clip, a user on Reddit was able to find the oldest upload on YouTube, which is from December 2014, but I don't think this is the original version of this video. According to this comment I found on Reddit, this clip was very popular quite a while ago in Saudi Arabia, but it found its way between people not on YouTube, but in WhatsApp groups. This would explain the lack of a single origin for this video. There just simply isn't one on the surface internet. This commenter also says his personal theory is that this video shows us a mentally ill Bedouin person accidentally spooking the people filming in the car. The Bedouin are a group of Arab tribes that live a traditional nomadic lifestyle. This would explain not only the strange clothes the supposed witch in the video is wearing, but also why they're in the desert at night in the first place. I think this is a plausible theory, but I do personally think the entire thing is fake, just like the Arab ghost hunting videos. This video going viral purely through being shared around private groups is not something that really happens anymore. But it was very common back in the early days of Web 2.0, and it's why a lot of older creepy videos have such dubious origins. There just isn't a single point of entry in the surface web someone can point to and say, that's where this video comes from. Our final topic for today is a video we've already discussed in the past on this channel, and it's one that has mysterious origins for similar reasons, and we're going to uncover some new information about it today. Back in the summer of 2024, I wanted to make a video about the scary things you could find on YouTube that had very little views. YouTube's unwatched horrors. When coming up with an intro for that video, I wanted to talk about a personal experience I had stumbling across something terrifying on YouTube that felt like nobody else had seen. After all, horror is greatly intensified when it's felt in isolation. Adding context, a backstory, and sharing in the experience with others just lessens the overall feeling of unease. The video I chose to go with was Kuyang Dayak.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't unwatched by a long shot, but back when I first saw it in 2013, it wasn't a commonly passed around video, and there was next to no information about it online. Most of the comments were written in Indonesian, and it truly felt like I clicked on something that I shouldn't have.
Is that a
which was the
tiger or
feeling I wanted to
lion?
capture. As we talked about in Unwatched
What?
Horrors, and as other YouTubers have also uncovered, Kuyang Dayak depicts a sort of sideshow attraction that's common in Pakistan. A man sticks his head through a box to make it look like he has the body of a stuffed fox, and onlookers pay to have a conversation with him. He acts as a sort of fortune teller. The most popular of these fortune tellers is known as Mumtaz Begum, and almost all the footage online you'll find of these strange sideshows are specifically showing you this fortune teller. And that leaves us with a question. Where does this clip in particular come from? Because this is one of the only videos I could find online of one of these fortune tellers that is not Mumtaz Begum. And on top of that, the man or creature in Kuyan Dayak appears to be in some sort of state of distress. Its lips move in an unnatural manner and it makes no sound. It's a lot more unsettling looking than Mumtaz Begum.
Enggak kan? Itu kok. Nah, ini foto naik kata foto naik. Siapa itu tuh?
I mean, is the rest of that body not moving with the head, bro?
Aku naik kata kena video kan kayak. Yalah. Lalu tu gong kawin itu tak? Takpung.
That paw is moving, bro.
At the end of YouTube's Unwatched Horrors, I told you guys that I was actually able to uncover some information about Kuyan Dayak that nobody else had previously uncovered. Mostly that there was a much earlier and much more viral upload of it that was put up on YouTube all the way back in 2007. This version has 24 million views, and it in turn links back to this Indonesian news website which contains an article discussing the video. The article says that the video actually depicts a disobedient child that has been transformed into an awful creature. But more importantly for our story, it says that the incident occurred in an Arab country. In YouTube's Unwatched Horrors, I had said that even this 2007 upload was probably not the original version because it contains music, whereas Kuyan Dayak seems to contain the original audio, which means it must have been taken from a different upload. Is there a chance that the true and possibly Arabic origin to Kuyan Dayak is out there somewhere in some forgotten corner of the internet? After a bit of digging, I was able to find a slightly earlier upload on YouTube. This one is from February 2007, and wouldn't you know it, both the title and the audio in the video are in Arabic. In fact, the audio here is completely different than Kuyan Dayak. It would appear that Chibonk182, the channel that uploaded Kuyan Dayak, dubbed his own audio into this video for whatever reason. The title of this upload when translated into English reads, "A Girl Who Turns Into an Animal."
What?
The audio in the video makes a lot more sense in this version. It's obviously in Arabic, and the creature isn't just moving its lips with no sound coming out, it was actually talking all along.
السلام عليكم. كيف حالك؟ لك طيبة. الله يشافيك.
وخر راسك كده. اسحب راسك كده.
I turned on auto-translated captions to get an idea of the conversation that was happening, which appears to be pretty normal for this sort of sideshow attraction. The cameraman and his friends are basically just asking the creature why it's so strange. This upload has 13 million views, and I think it's safe to say that this is the true origin for Kuyan Dayak, at least on the surface web. I wouldn't be surprised if this video was originally passed around privately using Bluetooth file sharing on flip phones or whatever other low-tech techniques for passing around videos existed back then. Searching the title on Google, I was able to find some pretty old posts on some Arabic forums, but nothing suggesting that there's an earlier upload out there. I think we can finally call this case closed for Kuyan Dayak. I hope you guys enjoyed today's exploration into some of the horrors.
Bro, my brain hurts. I don't know what the fudge I just freaking watched, man. Dude. The gins and all that stuff, bro, that had my head so scrambled. That had my thoughts so scrambled, bro. You know, like I didn't know what the fudge I was looking at, because I thought they were some kind of, I thought they were just like freaking, I mean, I know he said there was ghost demons and then there's jinns. And I could have swore he said they were invisible. Freaking human, like, but with supernatural powers, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. They were creepy, you know. Like he said, they're probably fake, bro, but like that doesn't make it any less creepy to me, because like I didn't know what I was watching, and honestly, like if that is a thing in the Middle East, like jinns, bro, that's freaking terrifying. If those videos aren't fake, man. I mean the one where like the jinn was like right here up to the camera, I doubt that one's real. And then the freaking Kuyong Dayak thing, like, couldn't tell you. I thought it was a lion with a human face, bro. Like, I mean, that's what they're supposed to be. Like, they said it's supposed to be like a fox's body, and you stick your head through for whatever reason, and they like tell the future and shit or whatever he was saying. I don't know, bro. The Middle East, Arab, like Arabic stuff, it's wild, man. It's very wild. and it's something I cannot quite wrap my head around, but, you know, kind of learn something new every day, even though I don't exactly know what a djinn is still. I mean, I guess, you know, you're never really gonna know what a djinn is. It's like a ghost, pretty much. There's always gonna be question marks around it, I suppose. I don't know, bro. I mean, I know what a djinn is from The Witcher, and that's what I was kind of expecting. But, you know, that is spelled D-J-I-N-N, not J-I-N-N. So I guess I don't know, bro. I don't freaking know. Let me know what you think in the comments, bro. Like, if y'all understood any of what just happened in these 24 minutes here, let me know, man, because, oh my lord. That was confusing to me, very much so, but, yeah, man, hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, I'll catch y'all in the next one, man.